What's going on, everybody? It is your boy, the American F1 fan, Eric Ringle here, and we are here for the Qatar Grand Prix Formula One. 2 races left in the season, and it's time for Qatar. Oh boy, here we go. They're just going through the national anthem for Qatar right now. Let me make sure we are all right. There we go. We got audio going. Audio is up and running. It's a decent hour of the morning, so everybody is up and awake. Thank you for joining me on the live stream as we typically do every race of the season. So if you guys were not watching yesterday during Formula One qualifying, initially Max Verstappen won pole position, but then was penalized 1 grid position for impeding George Russell on a lap that wasn't even going to count, which is odd. But the stewards decided to penalize Max for impeding during qualifying. It was gotta say, a lot of people are saying that was it's opening up a can of worms, and I would have to tend to agree that if George Russell was not on a lap yesterday and you penalized him the lap that you did, yeah, that's setting a really bad precedent for future qualifying sessions to come, with one more qualifying session this year and then going into next year. It could really open up a can of worms that we may not want opened. And I know a lot of people were saying that yesterday, that was potentially a bad thing. Hold on just a moment. Testing, 1, 2, testing. Okay, there we go. We fixed it. Had to fix I unplugged my mic by accident as I came to sit back down. So we are now 10 minutes away from the formation lap beginning. As I talked about just before this, originally Max Verstappen qualified on pole. Unfortunately, he gets a penalty for impeding George Russell on a lap during qualifying. They penalized him one position. Didn't mean a whole lot in the grand scheme of things, but they did penalize him the one grid position, so it drops him back to second, where George Russell will now start on pole. We've got the McLarens, Lando Norris, and Oscar Piastri right behind him. They had a great sprint session yesterday where, Oscar Piastri was able to finish first. Lando Norris finished second with Lando Norris paying back Oscar Piastri for earlier in the season from Brazil, when Oscar gave the win to Lando Norris when Lando was still in the fight for the championship. Lando was able to pay that back. Almost could have cost them the 1-2, but he was able to repay and give him the win for the sprint race in Qatar. Then you've got, let's run down the grid order here. So you got Charles Leclerc starting in 5th. Lewis Hamilton, who will clearly tell you he is nowhere right now when it comes to regards of, him versus George Russell. He seems to be nowhere. He's almost half a second off of George Russell, throughout all of qualifying this weekend in Qatar. You got Carlos Sainz in 7th, Fernando Alonso in the Aston Martin in 8th, which, the Aston Martin has looked god-awful the last several weeks. Las Vegas, they qualified very horribly. Lance Stroll didn't do that well in this qualifying session yesterday, but Fernando Alonso was able to put it up into 8th. You got Sergio Perez starting in 9th position. He was still quite a bit off of Max Verstappen's qualifying pace, which, they made some changes in Sergio's car yesterday during the sprint race. They basically used the sprint race as a test session for them, to where they, kind of found out where the car was, what changes they needed to make, and they were able to make the changes to make that car a little bit quicker. But it's still, Sergio Perez is still far behind Max Verstappen, and Red Bull is just hanging on to the potential of winning the constructors, even though they've, I think, for all intents and purposes, they're out of it. After a bad sprint race yesterday for Max Verstappen, where he finished behind the Haas of Nico Hülkenberg. Then you've got Kevin Magnussen, great qualifying session for him yesterday. He's starting in 10th. Great chance for Haas to gain some more points in that fight for the 6th position in the Constructors' Championship. Haas right now lead that by 3 over Alpine, and a little bit more over the VCarbs. Then you've got Gasly in 11th, who just missed out on Q3 yesterday. And then in 12th and 13th, you've got Guan Yu Zhou and Valtteri Bottas, who, the Saubers have been absolutely nowhere this whole season. They've been the worst car on the grid by far at most points. And all of a sudden, Sauber has pulled it together and gotten a great qualifying session from Guan Yu Zhou and Valtteri. They're starting 12th and 13th. You've got Yuki Tsunoda starting 14th, which is really not helping the VCarbs in that fight for the 6th position. You've got Lance Stroll in 15th. Again, for what Alonso was able to do in qualifying yesterday, to see Lance Stroll this far behind is quite concerning for Aston Martin. Then you've got Alexander Albon in 16th. Liam Lawson in 17th, which Liam Lawson really isn't showing what I think VCarb as the potential to take over that Red Bull seat if they so happen to choose to get rid of Sergio Perez going into the 2025 season. Then you've got Nico Hülkenberg in 18th, Franco Colapinto in 19th, and Esteban Ocon in 20th. Esteban Ocon doesn't have the upgrades that Pierre Gasly has on his car. He'll get them at the very last race at Abu Dhabi. They'll both have the brand new nose that Gasly's got that is obviously showing the pace for Alpines. Colapinto struggling this weekend. No crashes luckily for Williams, so that's been a savior for them. Not having to rebuild the car this weekend. Hulkenberg, who finished in 7th position in the sprint race. They made some changes in between the sprint race and qualifying, and it really kind of hampered the car. They also made it very well known that during the qualifying session, he did not have the charge needed to be able to finish his last qualifying lap. He did not have enough ERS, so that really hampered him a lot as well, and stuck him down in 18th. But I feel like that Haas should be able to move forward during today's race. All right, so they're just going over the track layout. There's only one DRS zone, but this is quite a fast track. If you've noticed some of the cars, the downforce is quite high, but the front wing is quite low. They're using the C3, C2, and C1, so it's the hardest compounds in their range. So the softs, obviously the fastest, probably won't be used during the race today. You may see one or two guys that may try to use the tire, but unless there's a safety car, which at Qatar there's not as big of a chance of getting a safety car. So the soft compounded tires may not be the tire to use today. Mediums and hards. The mediums are about 5 to 6 tenths slower than the softs, and then almost a second slower are the hards. All right, so they're just running down the grid order before we get underway. There's 2 minutes before we get away under the formation lap. Just making sure our timing screen is timed up to... All right, so we're just about ready to get underway here. So guys, if you are new to my channel, hit that subscribe button. Also hit the like button on this video to push this video out to more and more Formula One fans. And then also be on the lookout for Chris KR1S on YouTube. He does the compilation of reaction videos to every race weekend. He's really I have to thank him for what I've been able to accomplish with this channel this year. So I want to thank him. All right, so one car is on the hards, and that is Nico Hulkenberg. Everybody else starting on mediums today. Very interesting. So Hulkenberg's going to try to take this as long as he can. All right, formation lap beginning. So here we go. Hold on just a moment real quick. There we go. I had to flip a fan on real quick. It was starting to get a little warm in my office. Whoops. Press the wrong button here. I was trying to raise my volume here as we get ready to go. George Russell going awfully quick on this formation lap. This field is quite spaced out. Russell's almost onto the main stretch already. So Russell is going to have to sit for quite a bit here as I'm watching the timing screen to see where Russell is. They just said weekend attendance sold out. Like, that doesn't tell me how many people are there. All right, so now they're lining up on the grid. George actually finally slowed down enough to let everybody catch up. So he's into his grid spot already. Max getting one last burnout before he lines up into his grid spot. Yeah, George Russell's tires are going to get cold here as they sit. Esteban Ocon, the last one to get towards the grid here. All right, so everybody is just about on the grid. Esteban Ocon, the last one to line up. George Russell's been sitting there a while. And Esteban Ocon's into place. Green flag at the back. Waves. 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And we are underway. Russell gets a good start. Max as well gets a good start. Oh, leaves it open for Lando. Lando's through. Now Max is back through. Yellow flag sector 1. Lando is on Max's tail. Piastri dropping back just a little bit. Top 3, Max, Lando, and George. George drops 2 spots off the start. Oh, Colapinto is off in turn 1. We may get safety car on lap 1. Safety car has been deployed. Colapinto, we're going to see what caused that off. Ooh, that looks like Ocon and Colapinto. Man, Williams just did not need that from Colapinto. Hulkenberg's... Ooh, left rear is... Hopefully that doesn't do too much damage to the suspension, so Hulkenberg will be able to continue. We're going to hopefully see the start here in just a second to see what happened there. Let's see. Biggest mover so far, Tsunoda up 4 spots into 10th. Hamilton's lost a couple spots. He started 5th. Okay, here's the race start. So let's see what caused this issue to begin. Max got a really good start here. Was not able to see what caused the crash. So what? Okay, so we're going to see Esteban got a really good start here. Yeah, Hulkenberg lost the rear, went right into Ocon, and then Ocon collected Colapinto. So here's Hulkenberg's view. Oh, man, he had no, like, he was turning the wheel, but there was no turn to that car there at all. Ooh, and Albon's been spun. Stroll and Albon come together. That was a heavy hit between Stroll and Albon there. There's nothing you can do there. I mean, that's not... That's a complete racing incident, I think, there. Guan Yu Zhou, who's in 15th, right behind all of this. Guan Yu Zhou did a really good job to... They're all blaming the Aston Martin. I don't see how Stroll really caused the issue there. Stroll, again, it looked like a Hulkenberg situation. Stroll just... There was no, like, you see Stroll putting in steering input, but nothing was happening. Like, the car just didn't turn. So right now we're just showing Colapinto and Ocon out. Hulkenberg's still going, it looks like. Okay, so Hulkenberg's moved to another set of hard tires. Ooh, Hamilton may have false started. We'll have to wait to see that. Hopefully we get a replay of that to see what potentially caused that. So right now, running order, you got Verstappen, Norris, Russell, Leclerc up into 4th, Piastri's fallen down to 5th, Sainz up to 6th, Perez up to 7th, had a great start there, Alonso in 8th, Hamilton 9th, Tsunoda 10th, then you got Magnussen 11th, Race Control noted the Ocon-Hulkenberg Colapinto incident. You got Magnussen 11th, Gasly 12th, Bottas 13th, Lawson 14th, Guan Yu Zhou 15th, 16th is Albon, Stroll is 17th, Hulkenberg 18th. But the field will start to collect up here and just... So we'll get one more lap. So it looks like we'll get... Looks like we'll get started again in lap 5. There's Hulkenberg. I don't see how anybody gets any penalties out of this. It's not like Hulkenberg turned into him. You could clearly tell Hulkenberg just had no steering input from the tires. Let's see. So this is the replay of Max's start. Great start by him. No, it doesn't look like any wheel spin whatsoever. Man, Lando almost pulled this pass off. Max was just later on the brakes there and able to push Lando out of the way. Not push him out of the way, but got him out of the way. All right, so safety car will be ending this lap. All right, so now Max is in control of the field. He's got Lando Norris right behind him. Thing is, safety cars breed safety cars, so we, All right, so the safety car is in. Max is weaving here. And here goes Max. Lando Norris kind of sticks with him. Loses a little bit of ground on the restart. George was able to stick with him. Alonso drops a place to Lewis Hamilton. Oh, and there goes Liam Lawson off. A yellow flag in Sector 1. Lawson and Bottas go off there. Oh, no. Lawson went off. I don't know if he was... Okay, Lawson was able to keep going, but Lawson spun going into turn 1. Piastri able to get back up into 4th. Alonso's now fallen down into 10th. Tsunoda and Hamilton both have gotten by him. No further investigation in the Hulkenberg incident. Hulkenberg's gained 2 positions up to 16th again. Magnussen's now by Alonso. Alonso may have some damage. He's dropped 3 spots since this restart. Now Piastri's right on the back end of George Russell. Alonso's dropped another spot, now down in the 12th. There is something wrong with Alonso's Aston Martin. Stroll and Albon incident is under investigation now. Let's see what happens here. Lawson kind of locked up that outer tire and then just lost the back end of it. Yeah, the Aston Martins look slow. Had a great qualifying session yesterday, but just not able to put it together in the race. Okay, so the Valtteri Bottas Liam Lawson has been notated, that incident. Norris is just a second behind Verstappen, but Piastri's within a second of Russell. Stroll is slow. He's just dropped a spot to Lawson, who Lawson spun and caused that second yellow flag. Stroll must have damage from the Albon incident. That's why he's got to be going slow. Yep, sounds like they're going to be retiring Stroll's car. Aston Martin's out into the pits. Stroll's just been dropping. As now Verstappen sets fastest lap on lap 8. Lance Stroll got a penalty anyways. 10-second penalty for Lance Stroll, but since he's retiring, that won't matter. Yep, they've just told Stroll box to retire the car. Sucks for Lance. Man, look at all the gravel on that section there. Tsunoda's dropping back of Hamilton right now, and they're starting to become a train behind Tsunoda, led by Magnussen, Gasly, Alonso, Guan Yu Zhou, and even to a certain extent Bottas, so all the way back to 14th. Oh no, they pit Stroll. Stroll just came out of the pits. They said they were going to retire the car. The hell happened there? George Russell starting to gain on Norris. Norris has fallen 1.6 behind Verstappen so far. Alonso's radio. I cannot effing believe it, man. 2 years with the same effing problem on the straights. Holy, oh man. There's the Alonso we've known and love. Alonso is under investigation, or no, he's had an incident notated for rejoining the track unsafely. Ooh, Norris goes a little wide into the gravel. Man, that's where a lot of that gravel is coming up there. Jesus! What was he doing there? What was Alonso doing there? Now Hamilton's been noted for a false start. Hamilton's right on the back end of Perez within a second, but it sounds like let's see the start from Hamilton here. Yep. That's a 5-second penalty for him. Yeah, that's got to be at least a 5-second penalty coming to Hamilton for that false start. And now they retire Stroll's car. What the hell? And now Magnussen's by Tsunoda, finally. Oh, okay, that's why. So they knew the penalty was coming, and so to not have that penalty carry over to the next race, they pit him, served the 10-second penalty, had him run a lap, and then came back and retired him again. And this time they are retiring him. Okay, just wanted to make sure. Oh! What the hell is Yuki doing? Man, Yuki pushed Kevin wide there. And now Yuki's falling into the grips of Gasly. Tsunoda's going really slow all of a sudden. I wonder if he's burnt out his tires already. So something I'm noticing, the hard compounded tires just don't. Gasly's over his radio saying Tsunoda's moving under braking too late. I've noticed, though, that the hards don't seem to be doing all that well in this race. Liam Lawson's got a penalty for collision with Bottas. That's 10 seconds. So they're saying pit window is going to open right about now for the medium runners. That's the problem is right now, and I was getting ready to say with the hard compounded tires, it doesn't seem like they're doing a whole lot right now. Hülkenberg hasn't made up any position, but you also have to remember Hülkenberg may be dealing with damage from that lap 1 incident. Norris is still 1.8 behind Verstappen. Russell has fallen back of Norris. He was starting to get within a second. We're starting to see a gap build between 4th and 5th, 3.339 seconds from Leclerc to Piastri. Gasly around Tsunoda. Nice move, Gasly. Here's Guan Yu Zhou. What happens here? Oh, that was the incident between Lawson and Bottas. Yeah, so much for Liam Lawson being the best to take over that Red Bull seat, huh? Hamilton's, I mean, right now, the closest battle in the field right now is Hamilton Perez. Hamilton's within 7/10. Yep, Hamilton's now under investigation for the false start. Alonso's trying to go to the long way. And Alonso gets past Tsunoda. Nice pass. Nice pass, Alonso there. He was pushed wide. If you freaking penalize Magnussen for that pass, that's a joke. So basically, what you can do is if you're going to get passed, push someone wide just enough that they can't complete the pass. That's a joke. No further investigation for Alonso rejoining unsafely, which almost took out Magnussen. That's interesting. Now Guan Yu Zhou's chasing down Tsunoda. Piastri's now back within a second of Russell. It seems like Russell may be struggling on his tires as Guan Yu Zhou passes Tsunoda. Good job, Tsunoda, or good job, Guan Yu Zhou. Sauber's very late, starting to look like they're starting to get under the issues that have plagued them all season long. Norris now sets fastest lap as Norris is starting to put some. Lap 16 of 57. So far, not a whole lot, as there's a lot of spaces building up throughout the field. Piastri chasing down Russell, and even Norris has now stayed within 1.7 of Verstappen ahead. Oh, goes wide. That may bring Leclerc back into this. Oversteer from Piastri cost him over half a second there. Ooh, big snap. Leclerc's radio. Let's check pressures, tire pressures. The way I drive, puncture is likely. Team's telling them pressures are fine. No further investigation for Sonoda Magnussen incident, so Magnussen will not be penalized. Looks like their graphics are a little off there. It showed that supposedly Gasly was 3 seconds behind Magnussen there. Wonder if they may pit Magnussen here for an undercut. Wouldn't be a horrible idea. Hamilton's radio. Now Hamilton's dropped off 1.7 behind Perez. Valtteri's chasing down Sonoda here. Here comes Valtteri. Will Valtteri be able to make the pass on Sonoda here? Valtteri to the outside of Sonoda. Nice pass by Valtteri. Man, Sonoda and VCarb look horrible today. Gasly's 6/10 behind Magnussen right now. Let's see. They've got the smaller window showing catching up to Magnussen. Kind of shows it, but doesn't necessarily go for it. No threat of an undercut as of right now between Norris and Verstappen. It looks like the gap would stay just about the same. Ooh, Valtteri just dipping the right tire off into the gravel a little bit, trying to catch up to his teammate. This is a vast change in this race compared to last year, when last year we were told every tire was only able to go like 18 laps and they forced everybody into a 3-stop race. Looks like Verstappen's recharging his battery, whereas Norris is starting to deploy his. Piastri's now caught up to Russell. He's back to within a second of Russell. I swear to God, every time they go to the onboard of Piastri, he about loses it on that last corner. Yeah, he is right behind Russell now. I'm still really surprised that we have not heard whether or not Hamilton's getting a penalty for his false start. That's just weird to me that we haven't had that announcement yet. Why are they waiting so long? Every time they've gone to Piastri on his onboard, he almost loses it coming out of that last corner. Russell's being told to box, so he'll be the first man to make a pit stop here under green flag conditions. Oh no, Russell with a horrible pit stop. 7 seconds. That back right rear did not come off. Because now he's going to fall behind the likes of Magnussen, Gasly, Alonso. Wow, Russell fell back to 11th after that horrible pit stop. Is the car broken or just we're just unbalanced by the look of it, Lewis? Okay, so the car seems to be unbalanced for them. What a horrible pit stop by Mercedes. What a horrible time to have such a slow stop. .8 the gap up front between Verstappen and Norris. Piastri's another 8 seconds behind them. Bottas into the pits. Valtteri's in. See what kind of pit stop Sauber can have here. Use set of hards, it looks like's going on, and Valtteri with a good stop there. 2.4 for them. The vast change for Sauber from the 40-second pit stops we got in race 1. Congratulations to Sauber for fixing that problem. Leclerc's starting to catch Piastri now. Piastri's got to be struggling on his tires. So Russell's first lap on that hard compounded tires was a 1:25. Wow, Alonso's 1 second slower than the Ferraris right now. So the longer that Russell gets stuck behind Alonso here, the more that gap will grow for the Ferraris to get ahead of Russell. .6 the gap for Norris to Verstappen. Ooh, Russell had a look, but not able to get past Alonso yet. This is going to hurt him if he keeps losing time here. Magnussen's into the pits. See what Magnussen's gonna come out on. Okay, Magnussen onto a set of hards. .9 second stop for Haas there for Magnussen. Whoa! Hamilton almost losing it there. Russell still not able to get past Alonso, but Russell now up into the points. Russell tried to go for it again, and Fernando blocks him off. Alonso really giving Russell a hard time here. Russell just not able to pass him yet. Yellow flag, sector 1. Doesn't look like Magnussen was the one with the moment because he's still... That may be a safety car or a virtual safety car. Still can't get by Alonso. Norris on the radio. Norris has now closed the gap to Verstappen to 1.3. Oh, that was Albon. Wow. Lap 31 of 57. What the hell is Ferrari doing? They keep coming out into the... Hulkenberg's now into the pits. Nice stop for Hulkenberg there, onto a new set of mediums, which he'll be able to take to the end, so he's going to be quick. Norris has now dropped 2.3 to Verstappen. Oh! Well, it's now cleared. Valtteri just cleared the debris off the front stretch. Thank you, Valtteri. I think that's finally cleared that yellow flag. Oh, Lewis Hamilton's got a puncture. I wonder how many people hit that debris. Wow, this could cost Hamilton and Sainz both. Wow. Sainz has made it to the pits. Verstappen's being told to box. Wow. Safety car. That's such a joke. We waited this long for that safety car? What the fuck is the FIA doing? That is such a joke. We waited this long for a guy, and it screws half the field that, or several of the people that had already made pit stops. What the hell is the FIA doing? They have really screwed this whole race up. George Russell going on to another set of hards. God dang it. Freaking Haas gets screwed in this whole thing. God dang it. What the hell is going on? The FIA is so absolutely beyond ridiculous. Russell's radio. Russell is pissed. They put the hards back on. He said they're absolute shit. Jeez. Congratulations, FIA. You've really screwed the pooch here. I just don't understand. How do you not throw the yellow flag? How do you not throw a safety car or a virtual safety car to allow them to get that debris off the track? Because now Valtteri could have damaged his floor with running over that mirror. You had two cars that got punctures off of that. There's Russell finally getting around Alonso, but that was... Would that not have been under yellow flags that he made that pass? Were the double yellows still waving in that section when he made that pass? Oh, Verstappen radio. Ooh, somebody slammed on the brakes to make sure they got under speed there. Oh, here's Lando locking up going into the pits. Yeah, it doesn't look like it damaged that right front tire too badly though for that lockup. Lapped cars may now overtake the safety car, which would be Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri. Safety car will use the start finish straight now. So whatever they got, whatever it was, they got it cleaned up. I thought maybe the safety car was getting ready to end there. Oh, they're on the front stretch. Never mind. There's still debris in that corner. Okay, so here we go. Safety car will be ending. We'll have 18, 17 laps to go. Whoa! Albon's on the softs. Lando's going to be right on Verstappen's back end this time. Wait a minute, what the heck? Why is Perez... Why is Perez down in 17th all of a sudden? Oh, Sergio's... Oh my gosh, what a start here! Albon's up in the 10th. It is all popping off here on this restart. Sainz up to 6th, Gasly down to 7th, Alonso up to 8th. Yellow flag in sector 3 for Sergio Perez's car that stopped. Now there's a yellow flag. Hulkenberg around Tsunoda. Magnussen up to 10th. Oh, Sergio lost drive. Virtual safety cars out. Safety car back out with 17 laps to go. What happened to Hulkenberg that took him out? And how is Gasly back up into 6th? He lost a spot to Sainz. The hell happened to Hulkenberg that caused this safety car? Tsunoda and Lawson are both into the pits here. Oh. Steering wheel looked like it had... Man, what a fight that happened there on that. Ooh, Gasly locked up going into turn 1 and lost several positions there. Ooh, there may have been contact there potentially between Piastri and Leclerc. Great fighting. Oh, and then Leclerc goes a little wide into that corner. Oh, Hulkenberg, how did you... God dang it, Hulkenberg. Son of a... Ugh. Safety car ending. Incident involving car number 4 under investigation, failing to slow under yellow flags. So Norris is potentially under investigation now. All right, so safety cars ending this lap. We'll have 15 laps to go. Oh, Leclerc's going to have a chance on the outside of Norris. No, Norris keeps it ahead. Not much of an exciting start there. Piastri's radio. Check the front left. I can see sparks coming from it, and I have a vibration. Oh, no. Piastri. Oscar, everything looks okay with the tires. Lando Norris, penalty. 10 seconds, stop and go to Lando. Oh! God dang it, Albon. 10-second stop and go penalty for car number 4, failing to slow under yellow flags. Wow, so Norris is going to finish off the podium. So he's got to serve it within 3 laps. Hamilton around Sonoda, those softs I don't think are holding on like a lot of people thought they would. Ooh, Hamilton's been noted for speeding. Norris being told to take his 10-second stop and go this lap. So he'll come in. So Norris is going to fall out of the points here. Yeah, they basically gave Lando Norris a third. What the hell is the FIA doing today? Literally, he's been given half a lap penalty for that. What the hell is going on today? Like, I am just so confused with the FIA. Yeah, no, like, man, I it's now a 19-point lead for McLaren after the huge penalty Norris is given. Hamilton's been given a drive-through for speeding in the pit lane. How has Albon not been penalized yet for the freaking move he pulled on Magnussen? Like this, I'm like, we may have to like. And he's pushed wide again by Albon. Come on. Can we penalize Albon at some point in this race? Jesus, that's twice now he's done so. I get Albon needs points, but like that's twice now he's forced Magnussen off the track. Hamilton's now into the pit lanes for his to serve his drive-through. Yeah, you could tell Hamilton's done with this. Hamilton's done with this race. Come on, Magnussen. Let's get by Albon here. Let's not make it to worry about the penalty. I'm sure Magnussen's got damage from the collision between him and Albon on the restart. Hamilton's finally been told to box to retire the car. Finally, that away, Magnussen. Back up into the points. Nice pass. Is this Leclerc? Leclerc's dropped 4 seconds already to Max. Boy, this race. The FIA, they've got a lot, I mean a lot of explaining to do after this race, because this has been absolutely ridiculous today. Some of the calls that they have made. Like, it just, like, this is just boggling. Well, yeah, Magnussen's probably got damage, and that's why he's not able to catch up to Guan Yu Zhou right now. I love Kevin Magnussen. Oh my God. F off. Oh my God. I'm going to miss Kevin after this season. That is awesome. F off as he passes Albon. And then his race engineer goes, nice one, Kev. That's so awesome. Hey, Signs, if you take out Gasly here, I'm not going to be too disappointed. Just so you're aware. That's... Norris may still get points out of this somehow. God, Piastri's been all over the place lately. Be careful, Valtteri, going by Albon. He's not going to let you by easily. They've all gone off already. Ooh, boy, with 5 laps to go, Sainz and Alonso were kind of catching up. Ooh, Sainz lost it there, trying to catch up to Gasly. Yes, that way, Bottas. Now, Bottas up into the points in the 10th, but now Norris chasing him down. Those soft tires are gone, literally. All the soft compound of runners. Guan Yu Zhou's right now got driver of the day vote. Come on. If Guan Yu Zhou finishes here, he deserves driver of the day. Norris gets by Bottas and into the points. Sainz chasing down Gasly again. Alex with a 10-second time penalty. Why does Magnussen doesn't have a time penalty? David Croft has got his head up his rear end. Magnussen doesn't, as far as I know, Magnussen doesn't have a time penalty right now. I was going to say, how much longer is Gasly going to be able to keep him behind? Norris. Ooh, that's interesting. Gasly's got 3 strikes now. Come on, Sainz, let's make this pass. Whoop. Norris went into the gravel just a little bit there. Yes. Russell incident, safety car infringement. Jesus. What else? Albon's probably either retiring or taking his 10-second penalty. Here we go. Final lap. Verstappen's going to win today. Let's see. Is Sainz going to be able to make the pass this time on Gasly? Lando Norris sets another fastest lap, 1:22.384. Max Verstappen just absolutely dominated today. But here's the thing, and this is the thing I think a lot of people are gonna... What the hell was the FIA doing today? Max Verstappen wins, but I think the bigger picture here is Charles Leclerc will finish second and Oscar Piastri finishing third. Question's going to be, though, what the hell was the FIA doing today? Gasly finishes fifth for Alpine. Guan Yu Zhou is going to score points for Sauber. Guan Yu Zhou, congratulations, finishing eighth, man. Great job. Magnussen ninth, Norris 10th. Norris will get 2 points for fastest lap. I can't play his radio. Play his radio. Congratulations to Guan Yu Zhou, and Bottas almost finished in the points. Yeah, Guan Yu Zhou, driver of the day. Good job, Guan Yu Zhou. That's freaking awesome, man. What? I What are the stewards in the FIA doing? I am left at an absolute dumbfounded. You penalized Lando Norris literally half a lap for not slowing under the safety car because of something that Max pointed out. George Russell's been given a 5-second time penalty. For a safety car infringement. Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and end the stream there. Just a bizarre Qatar race, as we've seen. Just, I don't even know what to say at this point. But Max Verstappen wins the race. Charles Leclerc finishes second, Oscar Piastri third, and quite possibly one of the strangest Grand Prix we've seen in quite some time. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. And guys, for the American F1 fan, I'm Eric Ringel, signing off.